What just doesn't make sense about the Harry Potter universe? Love potions being legal. Gotta be the biggest bunch of date rapists ever. They are able to literally grow bones back from nothing but can't fix Harry's eyesight, so he doesn't need glasses. Seriously, doesn't Hermione get her goofy buck teeth fixed at some point too? Even though her parents are dentists. I can't remember exactly where, but her teeth get cursed and she lies about their previous size to shrink them to a less buckler the size. Yeah, that was great. Is that about right, dearie? No, they were a bit smaller. Keep going. Madame Pomfrey. Can you undo this dick shrinking curse? I was originally at least 13 inches. Luckily it only shrunk me down to this perfectly average size that isn't small. Are you guys trying to write a Madame Pomfrey fanfic? Because this is how you get Madame Pomfrey fanfics. She grows all the right bones. How in the hell did Hagrid's dad, a normal human man, have sex with a 25-foot female giant? Their entire justice system. We think you killed someone, so we're not going to give you a fair trial or undertake an unbiased collection of information. No, we're going to just let you rot in what equates to Alcatraz in the middle of the damn ocean, guarded by shadow demons that feed on hopes, dreams, human souls, and presumably the occasional puppy. Have fun. They have ducking truth serum. Innocent people being jailed is just ridiculous. Wizards don't understand things like phones, muggle clothes, or muggle money. They live in a place where 99% of the population is muggles. You would think they would pick up some basic understanding. That Hogwarts was supposedly one of the safest places in the world. And supposedly only for the best of the best. I can assure you, if my kid is at Eton or Phillips Exeter and there's the ghost of Wizard Hitler living in the back of a teacher's head one year, and then kids being petrified and a possessed girl finding a snake dungeon in the girls' bathroom the next, and then a supposed murderer hanging around campus the next year, I'm going to have to evaluate whether or not my kid stays at that school. Maybe your kid will never tell you about all of that because he's enjoying the magic weed and crazy orgies way too much for you to take him out of what seems to be the wizarding equivalent of Mr. Bones' wild ride. Kids from across the UK have to get to London to get on the Hogwarts Express, which takes them up to Scotland. Surely a kid from Scotland or even Manchester doesn't have to spend hours getting down to London to then go back up to Scotland. They actually do. The only exception might be someone who is from Hogsmeade, but all other students were to attend Hogwarts by taking the train or not at all. The minister who put it in place was Odeline Gamble, and I'm somewhat ashamed I know that by memory. Goddamn, Hermione. And I'm somewhat ashamed I know that by memory. Definitely not Hermione. It's Ron. He heard Hermione say it more than once and it somehow stuck. Where do the pure blood kids go before Hogwarts Secondary School? Do they have a wizarding primary school? Are they homeschooled? They don't go to Muggle schools because they know jack shit about the Muggle world. I need ANSWERS. What the duck happened to Dumbledore between 1929 and 1945 to turn him from Jude Law into Michael Gambon? Also, he looked dapper as Duck in his three-piece suits before at some point deciding, fuck it, I'ma just wear my bathrobe, these kids don't deserve me at my best. In the books all wizards dressed wonky. The new films were costume designed by PPL who had style, but no sense whatsoever for the books. There are Muggle technologies that are actually superior to what the wizards have. Like phones or faxes, given the books were written in the 90s. Today, it would be video chat etc. They need to send an owl cross-country while Muggles could just use the phone to get information across faster. They don't listen to any Muggle music. Some of them grew up with Muggles, so they should be into it. Same goes for TV shows. Well, there was Dean Thomas and his weirdly immobile poster of West Ham. Locking the third floor corridor when anyone that knows Alohomora can get in. Quidditch. Scoring a goal is 10 points. Catching the snitch is 150. There would have to be a massive imbalance in chaser skill level between two teams for the snitch to not decide a game. Yeah, it's basically just two seekers and then a bunch of backup dancers. It's a game designed to make Harry the hero, like the quarterback in American football. But she still could have put some more thought into it. I admit she was handicapped by Harry being pretty much useless at everything. Also, each team only plays 4 games a year, for a total of 6 games. And it's stupidly dangerous, and the referee is useless. Late edit, each team plays 3 games a year, not 4. I don't understand why Dumbledore tolerated the way the Dursleys treated Harry so poorly. Even if he didn't want Harry to know that he was a Wizard World rock star, he might have had Hagrid drop by one day when Harry wasn't around to have a word with Vernon. "Excuse me, Vernon, is it all right if I pull you aside for a quick chat?" Vernon Dursley and the unexpected ass-kicking. Why couldn't Harry just not compete in the Triwizard Tournament? It's clearly against the rules, it's clearly not supposed to happen, it's probably a trap since Harry has had 3 years of magical assassination attempts against him. Why not just let him forfeit every round and everyone can move on? Edit, people are saying it was a contract, he had no choice but to do it, so here's a new thing that doesn't make sense. Why didn't the government just make up some magical contract that says Voldemort wasn't allowed to be evil? It's not like he has to sign it, Harry didn't submit his own name into the goblet or anything. Wizard crime is solved. And all of that was just a plot to get Harry to touch a portkey. I was discussing this on a post yesterday, and someone suggested simply mailing him a portkey, which is basically wizard fishing. Unbeatable truth serum, exists magical justice system. We throw innocent dudes in prison without a trial and let obvious terrorists go free. There is no solution to this. Dumbledore was a great man. I got massive respect for the dude. But when it comes to his role as a headmaster, I would say he is a pretty incompetent one. He had no control over administration and had no idea what's going on around here. Not to mention his massive bias for Gryffindor. Harry, breathes Dumbledore, 10,000 points for Gryffindor. Duck you Snape. Gryffindor wins. The way wizards just didn't wear robes in the movies. Edit, I get why after reading some of the comments, but I read the books first and was so disappointed as a child. It's the same reason Peter Jackson cut Tom Bombadil from the LOTR movies. Some things work well in books but don't adapt to film. The Malfoys, purebloods who want nothing to do with the Muggle world and Muggleborns, are depicted wearing Muggle clothing in the films. Draco walks around in his black suit outfit for much of the later films, yet his family is supposed to hate everything Muggle? Also, Accio being a 4th-year spell. You can tell that this is only because JKR didn't think of it till Goff, because this incredibly simple yet useful spell appears exactly 0 times in previous books. Or just the way magic is introduced into new books as a device to advance the plot, then promptly forgotten about. Also, these plot devices will never be considered for any use other than to advance the plot, no matter how logical and basic. The fact that the killing curse is unstoppable, but people bother to use other curses while dueling in battles where they want to kill one another. It takes a lot of effort to create the killing curse. Plus it lets the person you are fighting know exactly what you are about to do. Touched on in the 6th book when Snape talks about why non-verbal spells have the surprise advantage over verbal spells. Harder to block dodge something when you don't know what it is. Avada Kedavra can't be done non-verbally. Edit, a lot of people are contradicting that Avada Kedavra can't be done non-verbally, or asking for sources. I can't speak for the movies which are famous for horrendously butchering or leaving out key parts. But there is no scenario in the books where a human is killed by the spell using Avada Kedavra non-verbally. Rowling has said that her inspiration for Avada Kedavra was that it was an Aramaic phrase that means to disappear as the words I have spoken or I destroy as I speak. Similar to abracadabra, which means to create as I speak. This just makes me angry about the way they completely butchered the Voldemort and Dumbledore duel in Phoenix. In the books he's making statues jump up and block the curse for him. Ducking movie sparklers. I still dislike how Sirius died in the film. I remember in the book it's almost like a non-thing. Sirius is flung into the veil and Harry expects him to just fall out the other side. It's creepy. In the film, Bellatrix just does the death curse, and then he also coincidentally falls in the veil thing, so, why even bother having it there? Might be misremembering either though, cause it's been years since I saw the movie and 16 years since I read the book. Yeah, the Sirius death scene is so powerful in the books because it's almost like a throwaway paragraph. It really does happen so quickly. I remember reading through that whole section so fast and then he died and I had to reread the paragraph 4 times because I couldn't believe it was so quick. 5 sentences and he's gone. I had to do the same when Mrs. Weasley yelled out "Not my kids, you bitch," and then made her heart explode. Reread that bit like 6 times to realize that it actually happened.